welcome back. If you're here for a good time, then you've clicked on the wrong video. Considering Higurashi is a world that seems to be moulded by the whims of a young child, one that really is inclined to do whatever they wish, as long as it means retaining the best friend of all time. Which is not limited to horrifically injuring her best friend of all time. But now, with this arc playing, are we going to get a new lease of life, a new appreciation, new understanding of the uncle and everything? Has everything we've seen so far all been a mistelling, a caricature of the reality? No, probably not. But now actually playing into her hands? Yes. Let's see if anyone else wakes up and sees that something isn't quite right here. So let's get into another episode of Higurashi. Now, obviously with Sadako being the mastermind behind a lot of this, we're seeing that the uncle has changed his ways. Has he always been that way? And we've just been gusted into thinking that he's evil, or certain arcs and whatnot. She's manipulating things behind the scenes. I think it's both. Without intervention, he was an arsehole. He's had a change of heart. She's now pushing him back into the play, as it was. What's with that apostrophe on the I? Is it because it was italicized? If you are going to go, then take this at least. It's kind of an odd one because Rika has seen this playing out several times before. And the fact that she's still worried about her friend in this room, obviously because it means that, it's not a good timeline. But still. And then there's Sadako, who just... I don't know what is getting out of it. Word travels fast in this small village. But why is he back? What could he possibly have gained? And stoking the fire underneath the villagers, having them already, obviously for somewhat good reason, already mistrust him. I think there's obviously something, as was said during the other episode, he must have done something bad. That's why he was back here. He was chased out of wherever. But I'm thinking that with his disposition, he's not exactly going to help himself alleviate from those rumors. I do wonder how far it's going to get before that one gets bored of it all. Or, the penny finally drops. And considering what we were told in the previous episode, and now seeing this bit of the opening, there is a certain... feeling that the storyline is going to divulge or divert from what we know quite quickly. Okay, Sadako goes out first, and therefore, oh, your best friend that you've been fighting for is no longer here. The great adversary that Riku's been fighting back is no longer twisting things. What's that? Is he wearing an apron? I mean, you did say that everyone was against you after all. I mean, the fact that he is now quite protective and wanting to do well by it all. Was that a spelling mistake? But he's going to have to go down to, like, grocery store or something to pick up stuff, unless Sadako still does it. So maybe there's going to be a villager who tries to strike up a conversation. Let's not read into that sentence. But wait a minute. Dreaming about Sadako? Was it a rather vivid dream? Almost as though you were living it. It would be cool if, as we've seen the uncle change, we've now got Keiji and maybe others who are breaking through of the conditioning and seeing their previous lives, which also throw wrenches into our plans. It's also kind of odd that if she's doing this to spend all of her time with her, the fact that she's doing these plans which actively separates herself from them. She wasn't this, laying it on this thick before. Alright, see ya. Bye. And if everything gets revealed, if Rika learns what Sadako has been doing and plotting, is she still going to try and redeem her? I can't exactly remember how the early sections of this arc played out and if the conversations are any different. But what is she doing? I know that, the uncle was like, do you want to go to school? Are the school going to reach out to him and say, Sadako didn't come in today, is everything alright? But what kind of traps and stuff has she been setting up with the hours that have been redeemed from not going to school? Shout it out loud, why don't you, Keiji? Ah, there she is. Very interesting wall she's been staring at. Really a method actor, this one. But is she going to make any more mistakes? Like the duck down from the trapped box and everything. It would be funny if she can't keep up with the lie. Also, how far is she willing to go for all of this? Because, well, I think I remember, her going a little off the rails. I think it was around here, at least. Maybe not. Thought it was during that lunch segment. You know, reach out that hand, ask for help, see if anyone can change how things play out. Well, they couldn't find any evidence of anything, so. What do you have in there? Now, because we were all gung-ho and wanting them to, the government to pick up the slack on their end and do something about it. Poisoning the well slightly. Ha! She slightly, entertained about the whole ordeal. I think something might have... I think my sentence speaks for itself, and I didn't even finish it. I think something might have snapped. This is no longer about obtaining a good future. This is just like reveling in the menace that she can enact. That would be why you're rolling. He's on the warpath. The thing is, if she works him up too much, can she actually stop him, reel him in? Underestimate how far he's willing to go to protect her. Actually, okay, he is still easily to fall under her words. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place, not doing anything to upset the balance and the life they have now, while also trying to protect her. Such a sentimental old fool, isn't he? If any of the villagers kind of just stumbled by and saw him weeping like this, would that change their thoughts on him? I didn't get a good look as the camera's panning slide. Was the river actually moving there? If so, that's a nice detail that didn't need to be done. Or it could have just been some weird effects on my eyes. You're late. Considering some things we've seen, could have for Rika's non-childlike persona to come out here. Well, Go on, do something then. So let's prove it to them. You can't just go in all guns blazing. You'll just poison the well even more and have the child services not pay attention. It would be kind of a good twist if, like, even the teacher or someone had the dreams. Not that she had anything to repent her life for or change, but seeing this go before and how far they had to go. Has she been creating a few more permanent marks? Those bastards! How could they do such a thing to a friend? Which means they are all culpable. I mean, I started on that sentence. Ah. Ah. The fact that the teacher actually came to your house should say something there. You know, that something is up. It is kind of fun to see that someone can be like so hard-headed and standoffish. Not realizing the extra damage they're doing by being so, even if they think it's for the right. Yeah, that's the problem. We haven't seen a, we haven't seen the syringes and whatnot come out yet. So do they play a role in this arc? I thought you needed a more full statement and everything. Rather than keeping quiet, maybe, speak out about how things worked before and what you had to do. Really just kind of fast track it a little. It's just a prank call, no need to take it seriously. And considering how she has orchestrated this whole ordeal, of course she'd have the right answers to them. Yeah. Good. Ask a few questions. The fact that, they must be plotting something, they're trying to get them separated. So, rather than fighting them, maybe try to prove to everyone that you're not this ne'er-do-well evil guy. Exactly. Maybe try and calm things down a little. But of course, he's not one to really smooth things over. If he was really protective of her and everything, would he be following along just to make sure nothing, out of observation distance at least, following along, make sure everything is on the up and up, that no one's attacking her on the way to school? I mean, if she's here at school, putting on a break. Oh, this is where it was, wasn't it? I guess, yeah, watching this from the outside, it would be quite entertaining. Seeing them fluster and struggle. Hmm? Huh. That's interesting. So yeah, it's no longer about Rika or anything. It's just another power play kind of thing. Well, it looks like she can no longer control it. Or could she control it in the beginning? I mean, if that method acting and just replaying what she's done before, fairly good. It seems spot on. If it's actually somewhat repenting because of whatever that flash was just now, that's also a fun avenue to take. Because it just seems like so intense in the moment when we first saw it, and now I'm questioning, who is this apologies to? Is it to the friends or not for what she's been doing? Is it playing along to try and get them to extra think the whole ruse is correct and real? Was that a flash of her actual remaining humanity? A brief moment of lucidity amongst all of the nonsense? But didn't we have, old Rika was she a witch as well? No idea, can't remember that far back. But yeah. What does it mean to become a witch in these contexts? But knowing that things never really deviated too far without someone interfering when Rika was trying to fix things is the same now in Satoko's world. I do like the outside issue of just some people might dream and see things from previous. So nothing is playing out entirely the same each time. Was I justified in my detest and hatred for the uncle before? Yes, because we've seen what he's capable of and what he's done before Satoko got her rewrite powers. Was it in the arc that I saw before? Was he being manipulated like this? I don't know. I mean, everything is playing out like it did, but it could be Sadako pulling the strings to make sure it does. Just replaying what she went through before. Is this, cry a spur of the moment because of the events of what's currently playing out, or a wider comment about what she's done? I don't think that's gonna have an answer. It's gonna be one of those meh. It's for you to decide what it means, kind of things. Personally, because I think that's better writing. But what I do know is that this whole thing is kind of interesting. Obviously, I said it before, earlier on, I think the last season, we're seeing these events in just a different light, from a different perspective, a different character that we're following, something like that. But now, seeing that the entire aspect of this story could be false. I'm pretty sure this is the one where the police guy goes a little off the rails, and if so, it was Sadako that did it, but pitting her uncle against everyone in the village and her friends? Who's going to win that fist fight? Well, considering what we saw before, Keiji. Because he had a bat. Higurashi, several seasons ago, was a show of mystery and suspense and trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And I liked it for that. These recent seasons have been something completely separate to it all, replaying things, and now it's an inside drama with the characters that we know, and it's twisting out of control, which is interesting in its own right. Not quite the same as before, though. I really do want to see how it all ties together and ends. I'm, considering that we have several story threads and plots that have been mentioned, they're out there, we haven't touched them again at all. Certain Spear comes to mind, obviously. How long before it kicks into gear? How long before that becomes relevant? How much of Satoru's plans are going to become unraveled before then? How long before this we see the world without Rika? I can't actually remember how many episodes are in this season. 13? Good check. 15. 15. So we're more or less halfway, well, over halfway through. Anything can happen in those episodes, and I'm all here for it. And probably you are as well, because, well, if you followed Higurashi this long, at least there's something to be entertained. Maybe I've been that entertaining factor, because a lot of confusion, really. Doubt it, but maybe. If that is the case, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing to the channel so that you can not miss out future uploads. Maybe even jump onto my Discord for notifications, votes, polls, memes. Something. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest. Watch out for who's around you. I'll see you for the next one. Thanks to my patrons that are Aegis TR, Darky26, Guado, Kite, Reds Racer, Ultra Pouring, Wolfie Sensei, Zug, and everyone else, I haven't had to worry about whether or not my life will be torn asunder without my knowledge, so instead I can just sit down and watch anime without a care in the world. I hope.